How's it going, guys? It's Burgers here and welcome to another Rise of Kingdom video. Today we're going to talk about top 5 epic commanders in Rise of Kingdom. And one of the biggest mistakes I see from new Rise of Kingdom players isn't actually choosing the wrong or bad legendary hero. It's completely overlooking how powerful the epic commanders actually are. A lot of players rush to unlock legendary as quick as possible, assuming epics are just temporary placeholders, but some epic commanders stay useful for much longer than people expect, and investing in the right ones early can make your entire account progress faster. By the end of this video, you will know which 5 epic commanders give the most value for free-to-play players and low-spending players, why they deserve your investment, and what role each one fills as your account grows. Through this guide, we're going to look over the 5 epic commanders that consistently provide best long-term value. Some of them will help you dominate the open field, others will speed up your account progression, and a few are still worth using even after you unlock plenty of legendary commanders. By the end, you will know exactly which epic commanders deserve your sculptures and which one can wait. And this is with crucial importance of every player who start playing Rise of Kingdom. The reason behind is you're going to get legendary commanders that majority of the case is going to be basically for open field fights. But there is so many specters of this game where you have to do some progress, and at this point is coming the epic commanders. Other thing is epic commanders are very easy to be awakened, especially if you start with specific civilization. It's way more easy to open that epic commander. So I think this is one of the main reasons I make this video, just because I believe epic commanders are with crucial importance in the early game, and I can say till the mid game, and some of them you're going to even use them at the late game. Discussions like this always lead to great conversation because everyone has different experience with those commanders, and I've been learning a lot from reading your comments over the past couple weeks. If you enjoy this type of strategy content, consider subscribing, and if today's guide help you make better commander investment, I do really appreciate leaving one like. Let's start with the first one, and this is which epic commander give the best long-term PvE value. If your goal is growing your account as efficient as possible, Boudica deserves a spot at almost every beginner priority list. She isn't famous because she dominates player versus player combat. Instead, she shines against barbarians, helping you defeating PvE targets more efficient, where earning the resources, experience, and rewards that fuel your overall progression. And even now, I'm slowly investing in the Boudica. The reason behind is, again, she's very good against barbarians, so she needs to be developed from my side. And why is that? Why she's that good? Because first of all, it's having 25% damage bonus against barbarians. On top of that, your commander also going to get 20% more experience from defeating barbarian. Now there is one more hero that I want to compare Boudica, because the people immediately is going to ask me what about the Lohar, but I'm going to share with you why for me Boudica is better at the end hero from a Lohar. The other thing is the damage she's doing, and also is reducing the range of the target. So if you can actually avoid one hit from the enemy just because she reduced the range by 100, is going to be great for your legion, because you're going to continue hitting and killing more barbarians. On top of that, the attack is going to be reduced by 25% for 2 seconds. Sometimes the barbarian is going to hit immediately after your hero, so these 2 seconds can actually catch up even the spell of the barbarian, which is also very great. The other thing I want to say about the Boudica is also whether a commander troop use active skill, she's going to get like 50 rage, and also is going to get some healing factor that is 400. Now you're also going to get some healing factor from the talent tree. This is Curic Chain. Whether the commander troop defeat a barbarian or another governor's troop, it recover slightly wounded 100. I think it can go to 500. I'm not so sure because I don't have this talent maxed, but if the at level 1 is 100, maybe at level 5 is going to be 500. The other thing is whether this commander, now this is a very strange spell, to be fair. Whether this commander wants a basic attack, it has chance to get bonus damage, and it can be for 1 second, like some chances to get up to 30% more damage. Now for me, up to 150% damage. Sorry, this is just at level 1. So 50%, 100%, 150. Now, you have 5% chance to get 10% bonus. You have 3% and 2%. In total, you have 10% chance. What this means is every 10 hits, she's going to get one of those buffs. From 50 to 150% more damage. Which for me personally, this is a very nice boost to kill barbarians way more faster. And Awakening is interesting because on top of that, she's going to get increased damage. Damage one is going to go up to 1000, and the rest is going to be the same. I mean, the rage is going to be reduced and the attack is going to be reduced. Now, why I prefer her over Lohar? Some people is going to ask. Now, first of all, Lohar, you're going to use him mainly for this spell. Experience that can go up to 70%. Even though Boudica is having this one, that is going to boost the damage on top of that and the experience, Lohar is still giving like 70%. So maybe when you want to level up some hero, it's going to be good idea to go with Lohar. But the rest of the spells are only healing here, which is not actually helping you that much. I mean, 450. This is very low attack compared to Boudica, and here we get some healing factor, which Boudica is also. It's not actually from here. I think is yeah. Whenever the commander troop is used, yeah, it's basically from here. It's going to be 400. Here is more. This one is 35%, so 10% more against barbarians, but again, more healing factors. The Awakening is more healing factors, everything around the healing. So I can say maybe Lohar is going to be a good idea if you're basically at beginning of the game and you don't have any other hero, but at one point Boudica is going to be just a way better commander for you and defeating those barbarians. And we know if we defeat the more higher level barbarian, we're just going to receive more speed ups, more resources, more everything. The next commander is there an epic commander that become more valuable as battles get bigger? One commander that surprises a lot of players is Imhotep. At first glance, his damage might not seem as impressive as some other epic commanders, but as more marches enter in the fight, his ability to weaken multiple enemies and interfere with their rage generation become much more valuable. And I also started developing Imhotep. As you can see, his first skill is 5, 4, and this is for the commander archer units and attack. But what separates this commander from rest of the commanders is, first of all, 5 nearly enemies troop take 20% more damage for 3 seconds. This is a perfect support hero for every mass combat fights, and we're going to see a lot of them in Rise of Kingdom. But the true power of this hero is coming from his Awakening. Now, up to 5 nearly enemies is 20% more damage for 3 seconds. This is not expertise. The expertise is for the next 3 seconds, up to 5 nearly enemy troops will take 30% more damage. This includes everything, all kind of damage. From 20, we're jumping with extra 10%, and those troops is going to lose 50 rage per second only if this commander is serving as a secondary commander. So it basically deputy, if this commander is a deputy, which is, going to do perfectly fine for a support legion on the battlefield. But at the end of the day, like 3 seconds 50 rage, this is 150 rage. The spell to be triggered need like 1000 rage. So 150 rage is something like how to say, 150 rage is something like 15%. So he's going to reduce the rage by 15%. Also, is going to increase the damage taken of those legions, and 30% is very very solid. That's why I think Imhotep is a very very valuable hero, especially in the mass KVK fights, because it may not actually give you some crazy results, but it's definitely going to support your kingdom, your alliance in the fight. And the more people bring some support legions like Imhotep, the more easy it's going to be for you to defeat the enemy. By defeating the enemy, better rewards for you at the end of the day. So I think Imhotep is on the place 4, the Boudica is on the place it's on the place 5. Now let's jump on the place number 3. The place number 3 is answering this question: which epic commander should cavalry players prioritize? If cavalry is your main troop, Byburs is one of the safest epic investment you will make. His strength comes from combining solid area damage with a movement speed reduction on the enemy troops. That combination makes it easier to keep opponents inside your damage range, while also helping your alliance focus targets more efficiently. And if you start playing Rise of Kingdom right now, you definitely know that the only path to go is with Cavalry. So Byburs is a great fit there, because you can pair him with with Chow Chow. Because if you're not spender, most likely you're not going to have Minamoto, which is, completely fine. So if you have Chow Chow, which is a single target, very good hero in my opinion, you can pair him with Barbars. Now, first spell is doing AoE damage 3 enemy troops in the fan shaped area, and the damage is 750. Troops hit by skills lose 30% march speed for 2 seconds. Now 30% march speed is a very nice, because it's actually slow, and here we're not having some crazy difference between the troops in point of a march speed. So this is, tier 4 cavalry is having march speed 85. 85. If I go and check it out, the swordsmen, they have 70. So if it's something like a cavalry, it's still going to do some slow on them. But if it's something like a swordsman, there is zero chance to escape from you. If it's something like a marksman, they also have like 75, so almost impossible to escape from you. And that's why I think this hero, by this spell, is doing pretty nice roll, but on top of that is also doing pretty nice damage. 750 if you manage to hit like 3 targets. I don't see diffused damage, deals direct damage up to 3 enemies, so I think this is very solid amount of damage. And even it cannot beat Minamoto, because Minamoto is doing crazy amount of damage with 50% chance to do 600 for every second for 2 seconds, so basically extra 120k. But still, I believe Barbas is definitely the hero I see majority of the experienced players are using with Chow Chow, especially for the first KVK. On the place number 2, is there an epic commander worth using even after you unlock a legendaries? One epic commander that continue to provide value long after the early game is Joan of Arc. Where most commanders focus on dealing damage, Joan strengthens the rest of your army. Her buffs improve multiple stats at once, and her rage regeneration help your commander to use their active skills more often. Now, Joan of Arc is definitely one of my favorite heroes, but little late in the game because right now I mostly use her for her gathering skills. But at the end of the day, her main spell, Divine Revelation, is giving for the next 2 seconds up to 5 nearly allies or friendly troops, including this commander troop, get the following buffs: infantry 30% health, cavalry 30% defense, archers 30% more attack. The troops themselves gain extra 40 rage per second, and this 40 rage for 2 seconds is 80 rage, which is like 8% more rage just for 5 allegiance. This is absolutely crazy good hero. If you ask me, I use her in the events where I have to do more damage, just because if I go with archer, she's going to boost my attack. It's still, it's boosting the survivability of the cavalry infantry. And at one point, you want to have, for example, Joan of Arc to boost everybody around you and have Imhotep to debuff the enemy troops. And this makes huge difference. This makes huge difference when the enemy is receiving 30% more damage and your troop is having 30% more health or defense or even archer attack. Now, the awakening is for the next 2 seconds. When you expertise this hero, is going to be for the next 4 seconds. So automatically from here, you're getting even not 40 rage, 50 rage. For 50 rage per second, this is 200 rage, which is 20%. This hero is going to give you 20% from your rage that is needed to trigger your spell. On top of that, for 4 seconds, you're going to receive those buffs, which is health, defense, and attack. Because 2 seconds is not something wild, to be fair, but 4 seconds, this is like double this spell. It's basically like you cast this spell 2 times, one after another. I mean, this is one of the most valuable expertise I have seen in the Rise of Kingdom, because it basically doubled the time that your buffs are there and the rage regeneration. So from 8% you jump to 20%. It is going to get this rage regeneration and those beautiful 30% boost of the attack, defense, and health. Absolutely great hero, and it's going to be a hero that a lot of people are going to use in the future. It's not only for the beginning. Again, for now, I only use her for the gathering speed and the watt capacity, especially when I go in the alliance mines. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's going to be valuable even in the future. And here comes the number one: which epic commander should you max first? If you could max only one epic commander, my recommendation would almost always be Sun Tzu. The reason isn't that he's the strongest in one specific activity, is that he performs well almost everywhere. Whenever you're fighting in the open field, clearing barbarians, participating in the canyon, or simply progressing through the early game, Sun Tzu continues to provide value. And I have one expertise hero, and this is Sun Tzu. I mean, this bad boy, all the spells that maybe if I can say maybe this spell where this is a garrison, maybe it's not something that is going to help you in open field or barbarians, but still, it's going to help you to have garrison of your castle. And a lot of people, underestimate this type of heroes that is having some kind of garrison, but still, it's going to even help you for the garrison. Now, where is the main power of this hero? The main power is first spell. It's hitting 5 enemies, damage 800. So, we spoke about barbers that is doing 750 to 3 legions. Well, Sun Tzu is doing 800 with the expertise and to 5 enemies, and after 1 second, troops hit by this spell take additional damage. So you're having 5 enemies hit it by 1000 damage if you manage to hit 5 enemies. For every enemy troop hit by this skill, the commander troops get 50 rage. So if you hit 5 legions, you're going to get 250 rage, which end up to be like 25% or 1/4 from your skill, which is a crazy boost. This is from a single spell. So even though that he's having this spell that is not, helping that much in open field, this one is crazy good. The next one is boosting. Now here is the thing. His commander is getting 10%, the troops is getting 10% less damage. So this is going to affect also cavalry, also archers, not only infantry. And the second one is for the infantry. And yeah, this is something that we have to mention. When there is a troops, this is for all the troops. When there is a infantry or cavalry or marksmen, is going to be for this specific troop. And finally, we're having this commander deals 20% more hero skill damage. So you have 1000 damage from the expertise. We're going to go over this expertise. You do 1000 damage and you do extra 20% more skill damage. This is like 1200 damage, which is wild. And this is the expertise. With no expertise, it's only 3 enemies for 150 and some extra damage, which is 150. After that is 5 enemies. The expertise in Rise of Kingdoms are absolutely wild, and definitely the heroes deserve to get expertise. It's not like you're getting the hero and you can make him like 5-1-1-1 or something like this. The expertise in this game is giving crazy stats. So from here we're jumping to 800, and after this 200, and this rage regeneration that is going to be increased, because if you hit 3 enemy troops, it's going to be 150 rage that you're going to receive. But if you hit 5 troops, it's going to be 250. So you get extra 100 just by increasing the number of the troops, if you manage to actually hit like five targets. Today we look at the 5 epic commanders that can carry your account much further than most players expect. Hopefully this guide help you invest your sculptures more confident and avoid spending valuable resources on commanders that won't give you the same long-term value. I also want to thank to all of the channel members. Your support allow me to spend more time testing commanders, comparing different investments, and putting together detailed synergy strategy guides like this one, instead of simply just repeating common advice. If you would like to support the channel and to join our strategy discussions, get priority for your questions, and help deciding future guide topics, you can check out the membership below the video.